All right, so if you are watching this video, then that means I have shaved all my hair off. All right, y'all, so we're about to get pretty cozy with some vulnerability today. So I'm about to do something that might seem a little intense, but still very on brand for me. I have decided to shave my head. But before we get into the main event, I want to talk about how I got here because I think it's been a long time coming. And there are a lot of layers to this decision, from practicality to self-worth to self-image, and even my spirituality that I think are worthwhile to discuss, even if shaving your head isn't necessarily going to be the answer for everybody. Also, if we haven't met yet, hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a chaos witch, stress alchemist, and shadow integration coach, which probably gives you an idea of why I might be up to what I'm up to today. I am also a full-time leather worker and run a nonprofit animal sanctuary with my partner, all here on our small farm in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And my work is all about helping ambitious, driven souls break free from internal blocks, embrace your fullest power, and actually create a life that feels as good as it looks. I've been deep in the world of magic, psychology, transformation, and spiritual rebellion for years, both in my own practice and with my clients. Basically, this is where the witchcraft meets the work. So if that sounds like your jam, don't forget to subscribe for more and let me know in the comments if you have ever done anything drastic with your hair before. So I've always had very fine hair since I was a little kid, but up until about 2021, I always had a lot of it, so it never looked thin. But for the past almost 4 years now, I've been battling some pretty upsetting, for me, hair loss. My hair is just completely abandoning me. And it all really kicked off after my soulmate dog Ziggy passed away, which was an extremely difficult experience for me, as any pet owner can relate to. But since then, I've been caught in this cycle of kind of consistent, significant, stressful life events on what seems to be a twice annual basis. And some of those stresses have been beautiful and exciting, like buying and selling my first house and moving into the woods, but most of them were really hard and quite painful to experience. And despite maintaining and pursuing best practices regarding like cortisol and nervous system regulation, with one event after the other, my hair has just been jumping ship at every turn. And at first I thought, okay, well, that's just stress, it's just a phase, it'll grow back. And it did, sort of. I mean, it does grow back, but the shedding just never stopped. And any new growth that comes in just cannot keep up with what's falling out. So every time I shower, every time I brush it, just handfuls of hair falling out at the root. It's like seemingly never-ending handfuls. And what is left is still healthy, but it's just so thin, like stringy ponytail thin. And I've tried supplements, diet change, topicals, and it just isn't happening. And I had been growing it out for years because I've always wanted that glorious long mermaid hair. But the longer it got, the sadder it looked. So a few weeks ago, I cut it into a bob, hoping to give it some volume and make it feel a bit more fresh. But every time I look in the mirror, it still just feels off. It doesn't feel like me. And I feel like I'm fighting it every single day, trying to make it into just something it isn't, and more so fighting to feel a specific way about it. Not just about my hair, but about myself. And then I started to realize how much of my identity and my sense of femininity had become wrapped up in my hair. And for me, this is a huge oh shit moment because I've done a lot of work to detach my sense of self and my sense of self-worth from anything external. So who I am, my value as a person, exists and holds in a vacuum, right? It's not dependent on how I look, how I perform, my productivity, or even how I show up. I am whole and worthy just because I exist. And this fundamental certainty is at the foundation of the work I do with my clients. it is at the absolute core of shadow work itself. And so when I noticed that this attachment to my hair had started to sort of latch onto or like blanket my sense of self, I realized that holding on to that dream of beautiful, long, wild hair was starting to feel more like a prison than an actual expression of who I am, which is what I believe our hair, our makeup, our clothes, our tattoos, of which I have many, whatever way we decorate ourselves, that's what it's meant to be. And one thing I'm a big proponent of, and specifically help guide my clients through, is all about leaning into that discomfort, leaning into the resistance, not only as a growth strategy, but also a self-discovery and, more often than not, an identity level up strategy. There is just so much value there in that discomfort, because when we approach it in good faith and hold that fundamental self-certainty, there is so much power in that information. And I've done it with shadow work, I've done it with my businesses, and now I'm going to do it with my hair. Because if there is one thing I have learned, it's that any kind of transformation, any real, effective, lasting transformation does not come from clinging to what once was. It's truly in the letting go. So I've decided to lean into that hard. I'm going to shave it all off, not because I'm giving up, but because I am done fighting and I'm ready to meet the next version of me. Raw, unfiltered, radically self-honest, and with a whole lot less hair. And I honestly have no clue how I'm going to feel about it. I assume there will be tears. I assume there will be laughter. And that's all okay, because whether I like the final outcome or not, that's ultimately not the point. And I am really excited for what sort of doors and sensations and information this experience is going to bring me. So with all of that said, and no more room for me to delay, let's do it. Let's cut all my hair off. I don't know why I'm so nervous. No going back now. Bye-bye. Okay. This is fine. Mm-hmm. This is so fun.
Looks like you're going into hiding and you're going to give yourself the best hair.
I do. I belong in a movie. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay, so just front to back, just
go with the grain.
Go with the grain. Do I have a grain?
At least for the first pass, then you can go against the grain for the second pass. Now there's coming back.
Okay.
I mean, keep it all to one side. It's a super cool haircut. Once you do the middle, we're skullet territory.
Oh God. Oh God, it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's make go.
There you go. No moss hair.
I think I like it. It feels weird. Feels very velvety.
Except for yours is a full head of it instead of just the corners.
It feels so crazy. I think I like it though.
Wait till you want some.
I think, oh, it'll be so cold. It'll be so cold. I think I like it though.
Good.
At least right now.
Yeah.
Right now, at this moment. Does it feel a little chilly?
You did it.
So it's done, and I kind of love it. I think it hasn't fully set in yet. I have startled myself in the mirror a few times, but I think I love it. I have this excellent looking scar that I have no idea where it came from. I don't know if you can't see that in the light. There we go. I'll have to ask my mom what happened with that. But yeah, I do. I think I really like it. And of course I can't stop touching it. But yeah, honestly, I feel lighter, maybe a little euphoric still, and lighter not just physically though. You know, I didn't realize how much emotional and energetic weight my hair was carrying, but I feel like I just hit the reset button on a whole new chapter of my life. And I think it also has struck with me a sense of reconciliation of opposites in this experience. There's this like beautiful paradox at play here, right? Like on one hand, shaving my head is this act of taking control. You know, cutting it all off feels like reclaiming my power in a sense, like saying, all right, if this is how it's going to be, then we're doing it on my terms. But at the same time, it's also an equal sense of relinquishing that control, letting go of the fight, the attachment to what I thought my hair was supposed to look like, or who I was supposed to be, or how I was supposed to feel with it. So it's this equivalent full surrender. And in that surrender, at least right now, I'm experiencing a sense of peace. There's a stronger sense of self-trust there, and it's a reminder that I don't have to grip so tightly onto any version of myself to feel grounded or whole. And you know, our hair carries stories, energy, memories, both biochemically and energetically. And for me, this felt very much like a shedding ritual, a way to release what no longer serves me and make space for something new to emerge. And there is so much magic in that blank canvas, in allowing yourself to be exactly where you are right now with no past expectations, no should-bes, just presence and possibility. So with that, here we are, me, no hair, and feeling surprisingly good about it. And honestly, I kind of can't wait to see how it feels once it settles in as well. So with all of that, if you're into shadow work, witchcraft, manifestation, and self-mastery, basically all the juicy stuff, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also be sure to check out my free shadow work starter kit, which includes 5 actionable prompts and a guided meditation to meet your shadow. There's no fluff, no endless journaling, and no requirement to shave your head, I promise. Again, that's completely free, and the link for that is in the description below. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This was fun. I think I might keep it this way. Let me know if you think I should keep it in the comments. I'd be curious to hear you guys' feedback and see how you feel about it. But either way, I am so glad I did it. Thank you guys again, and I will see you next time.